Good morning, Bobcats, and happy Friday. Thank you for joining me this morning for WBLS Morning News. I'm Miss Young. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today is Friday, September the 23rd of 2022, and it's Special Area Day 2. That's Special Area Day 2. Let's take a look at our weather forecast. It is beautiful, and really we have it for about the next 5 or 6 days. Nothing but sunshine in our forecast. That promises to make for a great 3-day weekend for you. We will have a high of 88 today, a low of 69. With nothing but sunshine coming up. Happy birthday today to Keegan and Miss Furman's second grade class. Keegan's turned into one of our biggest readers and coming over to the library on a regular basis. We're so proud of you, Keegan, and happy birthday. Carvin and Mrs. Munoz's kindergarten class. Happy birthday today, Carvin. Tomorrow we want to wish Eli. Let me rewind that. We want to wish Eli and Miss Howell's first grade class a happy birthday. And on Sunday, happy birthday to Jordan and Miss Kerner's kindergarten class. I hope all of you have a wonderful birthday. And on Monday, we want to wish these two fourth graders a happy day because we won't be at school. What a great birthday to have. You get a day off. And that is happy birthday to Javion and Miss Craven's class and to Connor in Miss Craven's class. Let's see what's cooking in the Bucklake cafeteria on this Friday. You may choose from brunch for lunch. I personally always love to have brunch or breakfast like for dinner. That's a favorite of mine. Or you can have fish and grits. You may choose up to 2 veggies, cream corn or tater tots, fresh fruit or 100% fruit juice. And as always, you may choose from white chocolate or strawberry milk. Hey, are you going to go bold and go gold with us next week? Next Friday, a week from today, we're asking everybody to wear gold in some fashion or form. It can be sparkly, it can be just a lovely gold sweater, it can be yellow pants, whatever, but we want to go gold for childhood cancer and in support of the Hang Tough Foundation. And so I don't know if you know this, but actually there is a Leon County student who is the one that has really pushed this in raising money for childhood cancer in our county. And so she is really making a great impact on other children. Now, yesterday there were about 12 envelopes in the bucket for the Go Gold, Go Bold campaign, and that's really great, and we appreciate those of you who had donated, but we're hoping to just make that overflow. And you know what? This morning in the envelopes Miss Young had, I made Go Gold, Go Bold, or Go Bold, Go Gold, whichever you want to do. And you know what? I'm going to put, I have a $1 bill. I've got a $5 bill. Miss Young's going to put it in. I'm going to put my $5 bill in here. And I'm going to do that not only for all the children who are battling cancer, but for somebody I love greatly, and so who also happens to love children, and that's my dad. We just call him Papa. And so he loves children. He's worked his whole life helping children who have medical issues. And so I'm putting my $5 in here in honor of Papa. And I would encourage you, maybe you want to write who you're donating for on your envelope. I'd encourage all my teachers and faculty and staff, all my friends out there, you might want to also donate in honor or memory of somebody who's also fighting. So let's fill that teal bucket up so that there's not any more room. We have to empty it out and make another bucket. I know we can do that. And so listen, don't forget, next Friday we're all going to wear gold. I want to welcome in Miss Mullinax for Terrific Kids.
Good morning, Bobcats, and welcome back to Terrific Kids. I've got a great group to share with you today, and we're going to get started with Mrs. Darden's class. I have Rayansh Detta, and this says, Rayansh is an amazing Buck Lake Bobcat. He is kind and thoughtful. His peers look to him to see what making good choices looks like. Amazing job, buddy. Good job. All right, from Mrs. Gregory's room, we have Cameron Boyer, and this says Cameron is a great student. He is always focused on the teacher and ready to learn. Cameron is also a really good friend. He enters the classroom with a positive attitude each and every day. From Miss Kerner's room, we have Clara Schaefer, and this says Clara is a sweet and happy girl. She is a hard worker and so helpful. From Mrs. Munoz's room, we have Natanya Javier, and this says Natanya is working hard on all things kindergarten. She fills Mrs. Munoz's bucket by following our class rules, and she fills others' buckets by being kind. Way to go, Natanya. From Mrs. Shank's room, we have Forrest Fang, and this says Forrest is this week's terrific kid. He shows purr behavior everywhere he goes, and he is a really hard worker too. Good job. From Mrs. Howell's room, we have Avery Kate Meehan, and this says Avery Kate is an exceptional student and caring friend. She puts a great deal of effort into her work and drawings, and she always has a smile, and she's a monkey bar champ. Good job, Avery Kate. All right, from Mrs. McLeod's room, we have Leighton Howard, and this says Leighton is a great student. She is happy and friendly, and she completes her classwork and follows our classroom rules. All wonderful things. Good job. From Mrs. McDermott's room, we have Avery Hughes, and this says Avery is a hard worker and a kind friend. Keep it up. From Miss Moore's room, we have Vera Schrader, and this says Vera is such a joy to have in class. Her smile brightens her teacher's day. She is terrific at following their class family rules, and Vera works so hard in everything she does, and she never gives up. And your teacher's very proud of you. Good job, Vera. From Mrs. Oschlager's room, we have Leighton Howard, and this says Leighton is a really good friend to everyone. She works hard and does her best every day. Good job. From Mrs. Stark's room, we have Michael Hicks. This says Michael is an excellent student. He is a great listener, and he always tries his best. He is a kind friend to everyone, and he is a good helper and a fantastic Bobcat. Good job. From Mrs. Threadgill's room, we have Christy Akpovo, and this says Christy is a hard worker. She has put in a lot of effort to be a good example for others and a class helper. Good job. From Mrs. Dameron's room, we have Wyatt Scott, and this says Wyatt is a kind-hearted Bobcat who is always willing to help a classmate or a teacher, and we're so lucky that he's in our class. Good job, Wyatt. From Mrs. Davis's room, we have Kelsey Raimondi, and this says, Kelsey is a wonderful second grader. She shows up every day, ready to learn, and Miss Davis just loves her positive attitude. Kelsey always does her best, and she sets a great example for her peers. Way to go, Kelsey, you're terrific. From Mrs. Furman's room, we have Cedric Reed, and this says, Cedric is our terrific kid this week because he is amazing. Cedric always completes his work on time and always tries his best, and he is a kind friend to others, and he's always helping. Wow, great job. From Ms. Hurley's room, we have Dominic, and this says that Dominic is our terrific kid this week. He is such a kind and helpful student. He always uses manners, and he's kind to others, and he always follows directions and works hard in class. Great job, Dominic. From Ms. Williams' room, we have Chayton Christie, and this says Chayton works hard to complete his work. He is a good listener, and he enjoys participating in class. Good job, Chayton. All right, from Mrs. Connor's room, we have Augustine Teeters, and this says, Gus is our terrific kid this week. He is responsible, helpful, and kind, and we are so proud of him. Keep up the great work. Good job. From Mrs. Ferris's room, we have Sophie Matajasic, and this says, Sophie was selected as our terrific kid because she is so kind. She is always looking for ways to help her classmates and ensures that others feel cared about and included. Way to go, Sophie. Great job. From Mr. Jones' room, we have Zoe Hernandez, and this says, Zoe is a pleasure to have in class. She has been a great example of how to be a good friend, and many of her classmates say that she always follows directions and she's kind to everyone. Good job. All right, from Mrs. Schmidt's room, we have Wild Gina Pierre, and this says, Gina was voted as our next terrific kid because she is kind, hardworking, and helpful. Way to go, Gina, from Mrs. Schmidt. Good job. All right, from Mrs. Tucker's room, we have Nolan Clappus, and this says, Nolan was nominated as our next terrific kid because he has been setting an example for others with great Bobcat behavior. Nolan is also an awesome mathematician and always actively participates in math each day. Way to go, Nolan. For Mrs. Widener's class, we have Cohen Purvines, and this says Cohen is a determined, dedicated student. He uses all the strategies that Miss Widener teaches in the class, and he makes sure that he applies them to his work without asking. Plus, he has a heart of gold. He enjoys helping clean the room up or any other task to assist with keeping the room in order. Great job, Cohen. From Ms. Ganaway's room, we have Ian Herring, and this says Ian is a strong classroom leader that is always giving his best effort. Ian is a respectful, kind, and hardworking Bobcat, and he continues to shine daily. Great job. All right, from Mr. Lassiter's room, we have Drew Johnson, and this says, once there was a boy named Drew. He worked real hard and his knowledge grew. Self-control he will try to tame so he can be in the History Hall of Fame. He is my terrific kid, but he will not boast. He will simply go home and eat some toast. Great job, Drew. Keep it up. All right, from Mrs. Wells' room, we have Vedhika Agarwal. And this says, Vedhika was voted as terrific kid because of her kindness and great manners. Her classmates have noticed how she sets a good example for all, saying she always does her best and always does the right thing. We are so proud of Vedhika and the positive effect she's had on her classmates. Good job. From 5th grade, from Miss Bowie's room, we have Kaliam Miranda Santiago, and this says, Kaliam is an exemplary student in class. She works hard on assignments and doesn't give up when they get tough. She keeps a smile through it all. Great job, Kaliam. All right, and last but certainly not least today, from Mrs. Doherty's room, we have Trent Thompson. And this says, Trenton is such a helpful young man. He helps me in the classroom and any friend that may need help as well. He is kind-hearted, and I know that characteristic alone will take him far. Keep being terrific, Trent, from Mrs. D. All right, those are all of our terrific kids for this week. Stay tuned, and you'll see all of their smiling faces up next, and I will catch you back next week with more terrific kids.
Thank you, Miss Molinax. What a great, great group. Listen, teachers, if you would please check your email. I sent you one yesterday afternoon about our Inchy vending machine and how we're going to handle that. Let us know if you have any questions. That's all for today, Bobcats. Remember to purr, be prepared, be upstanding, be responsible, and always be respectful. And in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.